Hi, Ideas here. In today's video, we're going to talk about creating a performance that utilizes velocity switching. All right, let's get started. Before we begin, what is velocity switching? Velocity switching simply means how hard we strike the key. So, okay, from 0 to 127. All right, so what that means is if we play soft, the sound is soft. If we play hard, the sound is loud. All right, so we're going to learn how to go ahead and have certain sounds trigger at different velocities or different volume levels. All right, check this out. So we're going to begin this example by creating a layer. I think in this layer, I'm going to use an organ and a brass. So let's begin by creating that performance. So I'm going to press performance. Notice in the screen it says performance on the top left of the screen, and I'm going to make sure I am in user. And I'm going to go to an initialized performance, which means there's nothing currently written there. So I am going to go to part 1. Remember, in a performance, we can have up to 16 parts. And I am going to find an organ real quick. Great, that's going to be our first sound, or what I like to say maybe my dominant sound or my focus sound. This is the main sound that I want playing. So now I'm going to go back up to part 2, and I want to choose the other sound that I want to peak in or push in when I play the keys harder, which creates a stronger velocity, which gives it the signal that it needs to punch in, maybe for accents. So I'm going to come in and press the brass section. Okay, and I can press the enter button and look for other brass. And there's a whole bunch of nice brass in here. And I'm going to use breakout brass as my, I really like this sound. All right, so we have the two sounds, and I'm going to go ahead and automatically write this. I want to save this performance because remember, if I look at the screen right now, if you look, there's an asterisk right here, and that means if I accidentally get out of patch or performance or move to someplace else within the keyboard, everything that I've done so far is not saved. So I want to save often. So I'm going to press right. This is a performance we're creating. Press enter, and I'm going to go ahead and press the menu button, and I'm going to delete all these characters. I highlighted delete by using my cursors, and I'm going to press enter to get rid of that. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to hit menu again to get rid of that, and I'm going to call this organ brass velo. If I want to go lowercase, just cursor down, organ, and then I'm going to go ahead and put some kind of character in here, and velo for velocity. Just for me, you can name it whatever you want to name it as long as you remember. It's totally up to you. So this is something cool. So just finish naming it real fast, and velo. Okay, let's go ahead and press the enter button to write it. And yep, it's in initialized area, so press enter to put it there, and okay. So now that performance, it's not ready yet, but we have it there, and I have it named this organ brass velo for velocity. So now let's go in deeper and adjust those velocity settings for this particular performance. So I press the menu button. I'm going to cursor up to edit. I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to press performance edit. Great. So your screen will probably start right here in patch, which is fine. And I want to have both of these patches on in the key bed simultaneously, and you'll see why in a little bit. Okay, even though I don't want the brass to always be playable, I still want it in the keys, because if I don't have it on in the key bed, it won't matter how hard I hit the keys to trigger velocity, it won't be audible because it will not be in the key bed. So we have to make sure that is on. So now I'll go to levels, and I can adjust my levels. How do I want that brass to sound in the mix with the organs? Okay, do I want it to be overbearing? Do I want the organ to be a little bit louder? Let's put the organ maybe at 110. Okay, or let's try 120. Once again, it's totally up to you. So here we go, that's fine. And let's go ahead and write again real quick. Press the right button, good. Real quick, All right, great. I'm just making sure. So once again, let's go back to editing. Menu, edit, performance edit. All right. And now we're going to start getting into the keyboard. We go to the keyboard tab, and we're fine with the lower range and the upper range being what they are, so they get the full range of the key bed. But we want to go over here to V-sensitive, or V-sense, which is velocity sensitivity. So I'm going to go on that second one, which is the breakout brass. Notice as I change up and down into parts, it tells me what sound we're editing. Okay. So I want the breakout brass to hit, let's say when we play harder. Check this out. Let's have a little fun. I'm going to set it for 60. See, you don't hear it. Okay, there you go. I want the keys to have to be struck rather hard in order for the brass to kick in. So you can play normally, and it won't kick in until you hit that. So if we take a look, currently the velocity sensitivity is set on 0. Okay, and now let's start adjusting it. The most we can go is to 63. So if we play, okay, so let's start adjusting, and I can figure out where I want that brass to kick in. I want that brass to kick in for accents, so we might go ahead, and I might go ahead and put it all the way to 63. So when we hit the keyboard at full velocity, it's going to kick through. So now we have it set at 63. Let's give it a listen. There's kicking in a little bit. So now that we have the velocity kind of set, and you can play with the different levels and find what makes sense to you, now we can save it. So all we have to do once again, press right, go to performance right, press enter, organ brass velocity, and we'll put it in the same spot, and okay. So as you can see, creating a layer of patches in a performance and having a couple of those patches or particular patches that are affected by velocity, which is the key touch, how hard we strike the keys, can be very helpful for different accents within your music. Give it a try. I'm sure you're going to love it. All right, you guys take care, and we'll talk to you later.